Hello and welcome back to another episode of Let's React. I'm Kenny and this is my beautiful wife Montana, and this is Rue.
And today we're going to be reacting to Season 2, Episode 21 of Code Geass, Turn 21, The Ragnarok Connection.
The Ragnarok
Connection.
This is what the Emperor said when Lelouch first got his Geass. He goes, "Are we on the verge of another Ragnarok connection?"
Right, which apparently means something outside of the show. I thought it was a Thor thing.
Ragnarok is...
That's not his hammer's
name. His hammer's
name.
Mjolnir. Ragnarok means the end of the pantheon and all of the gods, and pretty much just like a reset. Seems like the Emperor was ready to take on God, and then Lelouch said, "You're not getting out of here." What are your thoughts before we jump in?
I'm really curious to see how the Emperor handles this, because like I feel like it wouldn't have been a Lelouch plan if there's like an obvious solution. Trapping an Emperor is like kind of a lot.
Yeah, we'll have to see what happens up there. And if you are excited for this episode and the remaining episodes after this of Code Geass, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below for episodes coming every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes right now, they're all posted to Patreon in their extended full-length forms. But are we excited for episode 21 of Season 2 of Code Geass?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get it.
Let's Ragnarok. No, you hate it. Let's Ragnarok and roll.
You just can't break your team.
All right.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.
Listen up, Dunderheads. This video was brought to you by the incredible members of the Let's React Patreon. If you want access to a ton of exclusive perks, check out the link in the description below. Have a good day, Twinkle Toes.
Dang.
Oh.
You woke up too soon.
C2.
What exactly are you doing here? Somehow I get the feeling that you didn't come to help out Charles.
Anya, what are you?
Well, at the moment, I'm the mother of Lelouch and Nonali. I am Marianne.
How? That's her Geass power, but what is it?
Bounce around.
Maybe,
You can just temporarily take over.
Oh, I thought that maybe that was a princess. She's not a princess. My thought was, what if her Geass, she wanted to protect her children, and the Geass given to her was the power to take over the body and protect any of her given lineage?
Oh, interesting.
But I don't think she is.
Everyone's mom.
Exactly.
Mom Geass.
Mias.
That's what I was about to say.
I know. And what could a Ragnarok connection be?
I'm about to appraise Lady Kaguya and General Commander
Oh, wait.
Shinkare of the situation.
I bet it's like a portal, like the Ragnarok connection. Like I bet that's how the Emperor is going to try to get out of wherever they are.
Maybe he did mention it prior to this even happening.
Oh, that's true. Well.
So, since we have plenty of time now, will you answer me? Who was it that killed my mother? And what's your excuse
Looks
for
like
not
DNA.
protecting her?
Yeah.
How ironic. Here you are
It does.
seeking the truth. You who made it this far only by your deception and your lies.
That's true.
Ah, he did say all beings were one being. Maybe that's the DNA of all beings.
A
AKA
DNA
God.
made of all beings.
Yeah.
I've lied every step of the way. And not just about my name and past. I've hidden my true intentions too. But that's pragmatism, isn't it?
Whoa.
People need to play
Gross.
along with each other. We melt into a place. If we didn't, the nations and people, these things called communities, wouldn't exist. Everyone uses lies. On family, on friends, in society. And everyone wears
Do you
a
know what
different
those are?
face.
Okay.
But is that a sin? What is one's true face? Even you wear a mask, that of an emperor. None of us can make a move now without our respective personas.
You're wrong.
We're inside now.
When we realize
Akasha.
Wait, I need to see those books.
Ragnarok.
Britannia,
Encyclopedia
Akasha, and what is he picking up? Paranormal phenomenon. Oh, I need to see that other one too. I always love a situation where the hero and the villain have infinite time together for some reason.
Yeah.
Even though we have kind of two villains, but
Yeah,
still.
but time is always such an important factor in those situations.
Do you have any idea what that is?
Collectives, unbewusts.
When we realize that lies have no meaning in the endless flow of eternity, those personas will vanish. When
Self.
we
And then just a
understand
complex.
each other, conflict will disappear.
That all sounds like metaphysical nonsense to me.
It will soon be reality. You see, this is my Ragnarök connection. Soon, these masks known as deceit will be discarded by the world, revealing the truth.
C's world?
Perhaps. Hear me out.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
And perhaps, what is this? Yeah, go ahead.
Perhaps Geass, it's fueled by your true desire.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe Geass is somehow gets you in line to be God next, and you advance past everybody else, gaining power, and if you ever take the place, your desire becomes the grand will of everybody. Like, what if his true desire is no more lies, and that's why he can manipulate people's past, is because you can kind of eliminate the lies they've created for themselves.
Interesting.
And once he gets his Ragnarok connection like accepted, he would be able to control everybody's memories and stop them from lying.
Interesting. Yeah, totally.
In current terminology, it's the collective unconscious, a collective of people's minds with memories.
Nice.
The sea of transmigration, the great consciousness. Some refer to it as God.
Was that what I saw when we met at Narita?
Great
There, it
consciousness.
was mixed with your personal consciousness. I'm merely guessing, as I don't know what it was you saw. It's people. Their masks are the collective unconscious. Windows that open into their minds and memories.
Oh.
And the minds of people.
Forget it. It's too messed up for me to do. C2, could you please?
Do you really plan to go in?
Yes, of course. Charles has been waiting for us after all. This would have been so easy if you'd only given him your code. I'll go first, alright?
Have they all been working together?
This seems suspicious.
Like, she doesn't hate Charles, it seems.
No.
You know, Suzaku, you and I, we're very similar.
So Marianne went in.
In the way that
Okay.
we both wish to die and yet are unable to.
Oh, yeah.
Prince Snizel and the Black Knights?
Stay alive, Lelouch. I've got an important question that I still want to ask you.
What? Can't be.
My Lelouch.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Mother?
Marianne, I see you've come.
Is this an illusion? You do this?
No, it really is me, Lelouch. However, I can
That's what an illusion would say, though.
Present within this system.
It really is?
Lelouch.
Oh my
I will
god.
now answer your previous question. Half a century ago, my elder brother and I existed in a hell on Earth. Our family was just rivals competing for the throne. Assassinations occurred with regularity. Daily betrayals spawned by lies. My own mother fell victim to it. My brother and I were sickened and angered by the world. We therefore both swore an oath to create a world without lies.
Both C2 and I agreed to this as well.
Oh.
V2, however. What did you call me for today?
V2 killed her. I was thinking he would.
Is this about the Sword of Akasha?
Oh no, this is only about Charles. Ever since he met you, Charles has been acting like a different man. You realize that if this continues, the contract we made will never be fulfilled. I'll be left alone. From the beginning of time, it's always been the woman who's led the man astray.
Whoa.
Alright.
I told you to stay out of here.
Oh my god. It was V2. Of course it was.
Done. Begin the cover-up. Maybe
Begin the cover-up.
to be the witness. It's imperative that this looks like it was the work of terrorists.
Wait, and that's the person we just saw.
Wow.
Yeah.
Who had arrived
Yeah.
earlier to be schooled in etiquette.
Oh, it's her Geass.
My Geass power was to cross over into another person's mind.
Wow.
So she survived.
Holy shit, yeah.
I hid inside Anya to save myself
Whoa.
from being killed by V2. And then I realized that when my consciousness
Whoa.
surfaced, I could communicate mind to mind with C2.
Oh.
That's crazy.
I spoke with my brother about it. However,
I heard. What a tragedy.
He
I
lied.
shall miss Marianne.
my brother lied to me after we had sworn to create a world without deceit.
How dare you!
What is it? This is
Don't try to pass off blame for everything on the dead! Nonali and I, You sent us to Japan as hostages!
It was necessary!
Necessary for what? What kind of parent does that?
If you have someone you don't want to lose, you should keep them at a distance.
Oh my god.
Holy shit. Okay.
That just turned the whole plot upside down.
Mm-hmm.
So Marion, the Emperor, V2, and C2 all decided to make a world without lies. They were kind of building up their power and doing everything they could with Geass in order to do that. V2 lied because he was sensing Marion becoming closer to Charles. V2 kills Marion.
But she transfers
her mind, can still talk
so
to
not
C2.
Actually dead.
Yeah, tells C2 you should leave because he did this. C2 leaves and kind of abandons their group thing.
Plan, yeah.
And Emperor knows that V2 lied to him, and that's where we are left. And he said he lied twice, so there was a second time recently, and that's why I think he killed V2.
Yeah.
But whoa, what do you make of all that?
That's crazy.
Oh my god. So like Marion and Emperor are on the same side.
Wow. How is Lelouch gonna respond to that?
What is gonna happen?
That's been such like an integral part of like who he is.
Is this gonna become them all uniting to fight God? Like, you know, like what is gonna happen?
That, I mean, in like a very circular enemy of my enemy is my friend way, then kinda they're all on the same side.
Because like he loves his mom, and this was the whole reason he was doing all this. His mom is like standing next to the Emperor right now, like this is fine.
Has my stamp of approval.
You're like, how's this gonna play out? Can't wait to see.
When the sun rises, I want to get a shot with Ground Zero in the background.
The whole plot. What do we even? What?
Sorry about this. Relief will be here from Niigata and Nagoya by afternoon, so hang tight.
Like Geass power is pretty clutch.
Yeah, seriously.
Right now, we're suppressing the rebel forces with the aid of the Black Knights. However...
Is there something else?
Prince Schneisel, just how much do you know?
How frightening. What are you referring to?
I used Lelouch.
He doesn't know much about Geass, I bet.
The entire time, in order to bring about my own I used Lelouch. I was fully aware of the truth the entire time. In order to bring about my own death, I had to make his survival a priority.
Oh my god.
What?
She knew about Marion the whole time.
Abilities are quite different as an immortal witch.
Wait, I never put that together. She already knew, so she never told Lelouch that his mom's still alive.
Holy shit. And just left it. Okay.
I abandoned my humanity long ago.
We aren't all alike here.
Aaron Yeager.
Literally.
I want you to send me to the other world.
I sent both you and your sister to Japan to escape my brother's sight. That's also why I had Marion's body secretly taken away.
As long as my body still exists, there's the possibility that I'll be able to return to it.
Oh.
Anya and Nunnally became
interesting.
Witnesses. Therefore, it was necessary to rewrite their memories in order to protect them.
To make her think she was blind.
Gotcha.
You mean her blindness isn't psychosomatic after all? But
even though she was a false witness, there remained a very real danger she would be killed.
Oh, they had to just say, oh no, she didn't see anything.
The original plan called for only one immortal code. However, for research to progress, we had to have an additional code.
When Marion was unable to persuade C2 to help us, we were left with no choice. We were forced to use you, Lelouch.
Then,
what
was the point of me doing this?
These tragedies will no longer be necessary once the Ragnarök connection is established.
Whoa.
Masks will vanish. Then everyone can be exactly who they're supposed to be.
All the battle and bloodshed between Britannia and the Black Knights was done just to lure out C2. Well then, it seems that from the very beginning I was merely a nuisance. Just a ruckus in the world.
What?
And what do you two think of all this?
Did you already know that I was going to come here?
I'm sorry, my mind is getting exploded right now.
This feels like a fever dream.
Oh my god, this feels like it's so fully Emperor and Marion are hand in hand.
On the same side.
He can no longer
together.
Fight the Emperor then. So,
or he can, but he would just be fighting his mom too.
Yeah, because
which he's not gonna do.
Well, his mom is currently advocating, I think, for the removal of free will. Is what it sounds like. It's like they're saying no more lies, but I think what they're saying is you don't have the ability.
You're not even. You can't
you
tell a lie.
I don't know, but let's just let it wash over us.
Yeah.
Exactly who they're supposed to be.
I see. All the battle and bloodshed between Britannia and the Black Knights was done just to lure out
C2's been lying to him the whole time.
It seems that from the very beginning.
How is he gonna trust her after this?
I don't know.
Just a ruckus in the world. And what do you two think of all this?
God, this is so weird.
And that you regained your memories too. It was necessary for this plan, wasn't it?
Precisely. Therefore, I cannot see any sense in your coming here as well, Kurorugi.
I'm sure you can't. I heard you were already immortal. That's why there's something I want to know for certain. Why did you make this thing? For what reason?
Because it's what Nunnally and Yuffie both desired. They wanted a gentle world.
Now I see.
This was his initial dream.
The time
Yeah.
is here. See to, since we are all assembled, the plan can commence now. I will grant your wish after everything has been completed.
What?
We're just
So
starting
C2's
this
in
right
there now, so they have what they
Oh.
want. Ragnarok connection's happening. What? Oh, like a whole sentence of some sort?
Yeah, what, was that Latin?
Yeah, we'll go back and look at that.
Okay.
We can't really know much of what it means, you know?
World? Yes.
What do you mean?
Like, would you be able to decipher it, you think? Let's just watch.
Maybe.
We should watch this. Or
Well, no, let's just see what it says.
All right.
Don't know what that means.
We'll see. But he's activate. I think they're about to just remold the world like clay.
Yeah.
Whoa.
All over the world? Yes. Ismark.
It must be His Majesty's plan coming to fruition. If His Majesty succeeds in carrying
This is
out his vision, then whatever is
insane.
left of the world will be yours to govern per his royal decree.
Whoa.
Although, the sense of politics will have changed greatly.
Yeah, because it's going to be no
Yeah,
lies.
I mean, what are you gonna...
The world's about to be
Can
turned
politicians exist in
Yeah.
a world with no lies?
Yeah, what is about to happen?
Oh, that was...
Behold, it's begun. The sword of Akasha is slaying God.
Whoa.
Now, once our marks of Geass become one, the old world will cease and the new world will spring forth.
What?
Lelouch, what was your motivation for wanting to control
This
the
is
world?
insane.
Don't waste my time, Suzaku. You know it was not
Or are you just using her as your excuse?
Yes, you're right. I am. I have fought to protect everything I thought I wanted to protect.
If you're going to achieve that end, you need to take action.
Yes, the means to that end requires me to reject something.
Which is?
That I reject you. And I reject everything you believe.
Whoa.
When
Wow.
people lie, it isn't only because they struggle against each other. It's also because there's something that they're seeking. You now want a world without change. You could hardly call it life. The same as
Yeah,
a world
no
of
free will.
memories.
Mm-hmm.
Just a world that's closed and completed. That's a place I wouldn't want to live in.
But Lelouch, are you saying you're rejecting me as well?
That
Yup.
depends. Is
Seems
your
like
desire
it.
The same as His Majesty's
Like-
mother?
This is a big
Then
deal.
All
yeah.
the people from whom we've been separated. You can be reunited with those who have died, even Euphemia.
And Nonnally?
What?
You both believe that this new world you envision will be best for all. But forcing your good intentions on others is no different from an evil act.
In time, the people will come to accept it.
That time will never come! Only one thing is undeniably certain. I understand now that what you did to Nonnally and me may have been done out of good intentions, but...
Intentions don't matter.
That you abandoned
Yeah.
us in a foreign land!
But we did that to protect you.
Then why didn't you stop the war between Japan and Britannia? The plan was such a priority for you both.
Yeah, why didn't they
It
stop
matter
these
that either
wars?
of you if Nonnally and I were alive or dead. That's why you abandoned us. All you have left are self-serving excuses.
Lelouch, you're wrong.
You just told me! You said that the dead will rejoin the living! You don't give a damn about the future!
Once it's
dead will
finally
rejoin
done,
the
the
living?
gentler existence that Nunnally spoke of will...
Stop it! The world you're speaking of will be kinder and gentler only for you!
Yeah.
The world that my sister wished for is one in which kindness is extended to everyone, even strangers!
He may be right. At the very least, Yuffie never said that Lelouch was zero. Even to the very end. Surely didn't either. That's why I...
They were lying.
There's nothing to be done about it. The Ragnarok connection has begun.
You think so? I am Zero, the man who works miracles.
Your Geass power will have no effect on me.
What about Marianne?
Or on anyone else here.
Oh.
No, there's someone else here, isn't there?
Suzaku? What?
That's right. C's world is the will of mankind itself. And
Oh,
men
all
are
the
not
people?
equal. Remember those words? They're your own. And because of that...
I need to hear that one more time. He's gonna guess the whole world.
That's right. C's world is the will of mankind itself. And all men are not equal. Remember those words? They're your own. And because of that,
wow.
I'm sure you realize that my power will work.
You're a fool, Lelouch. God cannot be defeated by the power of the king.
I don't intend to defeat God. This is a request. God! Collective unconscious!
What?
Please don't stop the march of time!
Lelouch, you ungrateful child!
Nobody would have wanted this. No one, and especially not Yuffie.
And I saved you so that you could
Please
talk to
don't
me
stop the
again.
flow of time.
You were going to force
Yeah.
me to, right?
You can't do this, boy.
Regardless, what I want is tomorrow!
What?
Oh my god.
The thought elevator is falling. The dream that I and Marianne and my brother all shared.
Charles, just stop already.
Oh my god.
It was presumptuous
It's
of us to
done.
even
It's
attempt
done.
this.
See to we still bear the marks of Geass. No matter what occurs, we...
Oh.
This isn't a falsehood, Father.
Oh, it's both of his eyes.
Yeah.
Whoa,
He activated the right side.
Yeah.
We're being absorbed, consumed by C's world?
But what about C2? Why isn't she disappearing as well?
She's
You
connected to
supported this
Lelouch,
guy as
maybe?
much as we did.
Sorry, but I finally realized the love you have is only for yourselves.
Yeah.
That's not true at all. We love our children very much.
Do you have any idea what the meaning is behind Nanali's beautiful smile?
The meaning?
Why don't you understand?
Yeah, they were too focused on this.
Yeah.
She knew that there were things in this world that she would never be able to do by herself. So her smile, Nanali's smile, was her way of expressing gratitude.
You're laboring under a delusion.
I will not let you call that a lie! Over my dead body! Your refusal to face reality. Don't make me laugh. There's only one truth here. You, my own parents, you abandoned us!
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
You clever little fool!
Suzaku, stay out of this.
You understand that if you refuse me in what
It's
I
gonna be
offer,
glitter
you will
in
inherit
30
his
seconds.
World, Schnizel's world! Even then, you still have...
No matter what, I'll always reject the world you envision. Be gone now!
Oh my god.
Whoa.
It can't be.
So he just
So he's
destroyed the mind
Emperor's-
elevator. The Emperor and Marianne got taken and absorbed by C's world and it's because he like Geassed God, essentially.
Yeah.
At the end of the episode, I'm gonna go look back at exactly what he said to God. But oh my god.
Wow.
Literally.
Yeah, literally. Holy shit. Okay.
Where do we go from here? So he essentially said, yeah, you guys want this world where like nobody lies except for what you guys have been lying about this whole time. Like you're just lying
Yeah,
to get
like
what
that's
you
just
want.
like such hypocrisy.
Whoa. We'll discuss it more later, but
Yeah.
oh my god.
It can't be.
Can I assume that?
Yes, His Majesty has now been.
C2, are you going as well?
When death comes, you want to at least be smiling, right?
I mean, I think he changed her mind in that moment. Like she was ready to give her code, said this whole thing could happen with the Emperor, and
Yeah.
then he said you should smile before he dies.
Right,
She
yeah.
left. I think that's what this spawned her still
You
living.
want to at least be smiling, right? And you two? What are you planning to do now?
Huh?
You rejected Charles's plan. Instead, you chose reality and the forward march of time. However,
I know. Lelouch is the person who murdered Yuffie.
Okay, he said, I order you not to stop the flow of time.
Yeah.
So essentially, by ordering that, Marianne and Emperor's entire plan was deemed basically impossible, and they got absorbed because of that.
Yeah.
Okay. Along with anybody who believed in that plan.
Okay.
Lelouch is the person who murdered Yuffie.
What of it?
Kind of a big deal.
Yeah. 1 month later.
1 month since the destruction caused by the Flea warhead. Today, His Majesty Emperor Charles will make an important announcement to the entire nation.
No, he won't.
We will be bringing you live international coverage of this from Pendragon Imperial Palace.
Seems fake.
So is Schneisel Emperor now?
The others, where are they?
Whoa.
Don't know.
Presenting His Imperial Majesty!
Is Lelouch gonna walk out right now? That was a skinny leg.
Yeah.
That's not.
Where's His Majesty?
That is His Majesty.
It can't be! But how? There's no way.
What?
He's just gonna go public right away?
I'm
And he's
Lelouch
Emperor now?
Britannia of the royal family,
Okay.
99th Emperor of the realm.
Good lord.
can this be?
It's really you?
You're alive?
Yes, sister, I am. I've returned from the depths of hell intact.
Lelouch, how good to see you.
How did he come back?
When Nunnally was located, I figured that you would be found alive too. But
Nunnally was located?
carrying this joke a bit too.
What? Maybe he went back in time.
Located, I figured that you would be found alive too. But
So Nunnally's alive.
Yeah.
joke a bit too far.
Maybe in the Seas World he changed it somehow.
Charles Z. Britannia, the 98th Emperor, no longer lives, and I'm the one who took his life.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That makes me the next Emperor.
Is that how that works?
Emperor Charles believed in a world of strength, only the dominant survive, and it's kill or be killed.
Guards, take that fool and execute him!
His Geass powers are too strong.
Yeah, not gonna happen. Oh. Well, maybe he doesn't need it.
Excuse
He's
me,
breaking
they just
metal?
break their weapons?
Well, that was cool.
May I introduce Suzaku,
Knight of One.
my knight, a knight of the round above all others. I grant him the title Knight of Zero.
Oh.
Oh, very cool.
Pulling a bad stunt like this on an international broadcast.
Do you think so?
It's like, it's not a good look.
Yes.
Acknowledge me as Emperor!
Lelouch, I insist that you stop joking around like
Oh my god.
we hear and obey your majesty.
Oh, wait.
He just gassed all of them.
He's not going to be able to Geass any of them ever again.
He doesn't need to. He said acknowledge me as emperor.
Well, you know, okay. Yeah, no, they'll just do whatever because he's the emperor now. Whoa.
Now that you've reappeared on the
Oh
scene,
my
you
god.
have a problem to contend with.
He just gassed the whole room.
Yeah.
What's his reason? He succeeds in furthering himself by continually betraying others.
Don't be concerned.
Whoa.
Let Lelouch have all of it, because it doesn't matter. He can have Britannia, the whole nation. The question is, what comes next? Which will control the world? Will it be Lelouch's Geass power, or will it be...
Be what? What could you probably do? Oh.
Wow. That was a crazy episode.
That everything. What?
Wow.
They literally just ended the plot.
Yeah.
And started a new plot.
Yeah. Did you ever see that TikTok that was like doing... No, I promise I'm going somewhere with this. The TikTok that was like painting with my boyfriend, but we switch and go back every couple. And she just like completely painted over his whole thing. That's like what I feel like they just kind of did, where it was like, all right, we've been working on this project, working on this plot. Actually, I fucking hate that, and we're gonna make this a forest instead.
So there, yeah, it seems that he's just taking over. I mean, he did just Geass all of his brothers and sisters except for that one small group. He said,
Yeah.
What will be the winner? That or so now is it Schneisel versus Lelouch? I think this is our final battle. Wow.
That is so interesting. Okay.
So unexpected that the Emperor got no diffed like that. That was just...
Yeah.
Get better, man. Like...
So true.
Wow. Well, we'll discuss it more, but if you enjoyed that episode, make sure to like and subscribe down below for episodes of Code Geass coming every Thursday at 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you can't wait and want to see these episodes right now, they're all posted to Patreon in their extended full-length forms. So much to discuss from that episode, but before we do that, where are we headed?
All right, let's review.
Thank you for watching. For now, we're going to go to questions given to us by our incredible Patreon members. If you want to ask us questions we answer after every episode of any show we watch, join the link in the description below and start asking. For now, let's go to question 1. All right, question 1. Amaline asks, regarding Lelouch's Geass, what do you think, if anything, triggered it to become more powerful? And then I'll ask the second part of the question after. But what do we think triggered it? Because his right eye opened and he got like a new sort of upgrade there. I want to watch that.
I feel like it's got to be Emperor related.
This is prior. I mean, the Emperor was still alive at this point.
Yeah.
I don't intend to defeat God. This is a request. Yes. Now I know who I really am.
It's a request, not even a command.
God! Collective unconscious! Please don't stop the march of time!
Please don't stop the march of time.
Maybe it was Geass with a request.
Yeah.
In a polite way.
You can't do this, boy! Not against God nor all of humanity itself!
Regardless, what I want
is tomorrow!
What I want is tomorrow.
He started to focus on the future rather than the past.
Okay, and that's what prompted.
I think that's what prompted it.
Okay. Future thinking.
I think it's absolutely the fact that instead of going, I'm getting revenge for Nunnally and what happened back then, he was focusing on the future.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Because he was stopped. His flow of time didn't continue.
No.
He was staying in who he was, and now he decided, I want to see tomorrow, and that activated his new power.
Very cool.
Wow. So, and I think that's because he was working. You know, the other thing is, he was trying to do something on behalf of the entire will of humanity.
True.
Rather than himself.
Yeah.
He'd been doing this selfish thing this whole time. And now he's like, you know what? You're trying to take the ability to lie away from everyone?
Yeah, it's like a greater purpose.
Yeah, maybe that's what activated the new power. And let's go to the second part of the question. What are your thoughts on Suzaku's involvement, specifically in regard to him choosing to reject Charles's and Marianne's vision in favor of siding with Lelouch, especially considering how he was ready to defend Lelouch immediately when Charles attacked him? And seeing how Lelouch chose to embrace the future rather than the past in his whole speech about Nunnally, how do you think Suzaku's perception towards him altered, if at all? Suzaku definitely shifted his mind.
Yeah, there was a pretty big change that occurred, and I feel like it's got to be related to that like realization he had last episode that like intentions aren't necessarily enough, and like to actually get stuff done you have to get your hands dirty or whatever. So he like understands where Lelouch is coming from a lot more. And then maybe if like you decide, like if the principle that you've like based your whole life around is proven to be incorrect, it makes sense to me that Suzaku would be the kind of person who's like, okay, well, if I was fully dedicated to this and you changed my mind, now I'm fully dedicated to you.
Yeah, I could see that as well. I also thought about the moment in that speech where he was like, the world Nunnally and Euphemia wanted is not this one. And like, Suzaku's so dedicated to Euphemia, he's probably like, yeah, you're making a lot of sense here.
Also
like,
true.
He also admitted everything. Like, I feel like, but there is one other aspect of it, which I want to ask question 2. Atticus Omenson asks, how do you think Lelouch convinced Suzaku to forgive him for killing Euphemia? Because we kind of cut away from that. We went to a month later, but it's presumed that he did that in order to become his Knight of Zero.
Yeah.
I have a thought.
Okay, do you want to go ahead? Because I'm not sure.
Because Nunnally was found, quote unquote. It makes me think that somehow they were like, you know what? We need to go back. Since we're in this God dimension, we're going to get back Nunnally, Euphemia, and like Shirley, and then
it's kind of like a no harm, no foul situation.
Yeah, maybe, and then we'll keep going. Like maybe, I don't know. Like I'm not quite sure, but something fishy happened in C's world that I think may have changed his mind.
Interesting. I was thinking maybe there was like a parallel realization for Suzaku to realize that like theory doesn't matter that much, and for Lelouch to realize that like trying to change the past, they're like the same genre of not possible. And I'm having a hard time putting what I mean into words, but I feel like the realization that they both came to of like, no, it needs to be action moving forward. Like that's kind of the same thing that both of them realized. So maybe, I don't know, I'm just thinking if you realize you're making the mistake as someone, if you're making the same mistake as someone who you're mad at for making said mistake, it's easier to forgive them.
Yeah, I think it's got to be the promise of what's coming forward too.
Yeah.
Like finally Suzaku is in a position to actually impact change. Like maybe he's changing his mind by being like, look, I'm going to give you're in charge of all diplomacy. Like you can literally shape the world.
Right.
Like, maybe that's it. I'm not entirely sure, but something happened there.
Yeah.
Let's go to our final question. Final question. Eric C asks, what are your thoughts on Marianne, having finally seen her face to face and her willingness to go along with Charles's plan to the point of sealing away the mind of a child as she was dying, as well as Lelouch's conviction to stand in her way when her death was the starting point of all of this for him?
Yeah. I think what Lelouch was saying really summed it up well of like what you were doing might have had good intentions, but just the execution was garbage.
Yeah, like Marianne, I think, first of all, it's fascinating to see Marianne and that she was on the Emperor's side.
Yeah,
they were just the same entity.
Never would have seen that coming.
Never.
No.
And C2 kind of along the way changed her mind, but she was trying to convince Lelouch to essentially do all of this, but she was also lying to him about Marianne the whole time.
Yeah.
But to see him stand up to her immediately, I think it's because he realized, like, oh, sure, I'm glad to have you alive, but to know that you're the reason why I anguished so much, like, you abandoned us. Like, I think that was the big driving home point, is they were like, well, we kept you far away because we were too busy dealing with all of this God stuff, and we wanted to change the world to be exactly the way we wanted it to, but we still loved you. We just never talked to you or gave you any information or cared if you lived or died.
Yeah, just not like, enough to parent you.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like, they were so focused on the future. I think the point that's been driven home these last few episodes is like, this is mundane. Like, I have to think they thought parenting was pretty mundane, you know? Like,
yeah.
I think that they looked too far into their future and didn't worry about the future of their children. Like, there was a line from Ariane where she goes, oh, we loved you, where it's like, oh.
Like, that's how you say you, like, enjoyed, like, a diner you found on a road trip.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's also strange because it's a lot easier to have, like, a positive impression of someone who died and is just like MIA, other than the version of them that exists in your head, which is always going to be like, oh, like my dead mom, she's an angel, right? But like,
oh, and the fact they blinded not only
so to have your mother go from this kind of just like abstract good entity to like, oh wow, you're very much part of the problem, like that's a big shift.
Yeah, absolutely. It's massive. Like, he realized that his mom, like, and there was a big point where he's like, I'm against the Emperor, and Marianne goes, wait, are you standing up to me too? And he goes, that depends.
Yup.
Do you agree with this blasphemy, like this craziness?
Yeah.
So, wow. And I wonder if he brings Nunnally back, like, will she have her vision now? Because he knows it's not psychosomatic, and he knows it was Geass based.
Yeah.
Who knows? Maybe he can get, if they used Geass to somehow do this to her, maybe they could get the un-Geasser guy to come in and reverse it.
Very true.
We'll have to see, but anything could happen next episode, which is titled Emperor Lelouch. Are we excited for episode 22 of season 2 of Code Geass?
Can't wait.
All right, let's get it.
Let's go.